Hello, tis me once again, Shiro. Welcome to the Lewd Front podcast. Today with me, oiled as usual, and our guest, Tabuley.
Tabuley, however you want to pronounce it. I'm not.
No,
not
give
picky
me
on
the
that.
proper. Give me the proper.
We're off to a
Wait.
great start, dude.
What's the proper way to say your name?
I say Tabuley, but everyone calls me
Tabuley.
Tabs, and everyone calls me Tabs anyway, so it doesn't
Okay,
matter.
Tabs. Our
Yeah.
guest, Tab. Right. Thank you for that. Now that we got that out of the way, what's
Yeah.
up, Tabs? Who are you? Like, give me who's Tab?
Introduce
Uh,
TLDR.
Tabs is a badly drawn penguin that animates sometimes when he has the energy, and that's it. And also he mostly animates girls with.
Nice. Fuda animator.
So you're a real blue penguin that
Absolutely.
speaks French and animates furry chicks. Yeah.
Yeah, except hang on. I wouldn't say Fuda because I'm kind of a hard ass on semantics, and fudanary is more about hermaphrodites.
Okay.
So you can say girls with trans girls or whatever.
So female.
Not the best, but yeah,
what's
sure.
what's the term that you use?
Girls with
Trans girls or girls with same thing.
Okay, since Tabs is, he's kind of biased on what he prefers to say. You draw girls with,
Exactly.
and I just want to make sure, are you like literally a penguin?
Yeah,
Just like that, you're just a blue penguin.
exactly.
I mean,
Don't
don't you say it on his PFP? It's literally a blue penguin.
Look, if you look at he's right there. He's running right there. Can you not see him? Alright, you see, the problem is, Oil. That means you only got a couple of years to live. Global warming and whatnot.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
And by the time that happens, no more girls with dick. No more bad girls with dicks.
Pretty
No.
much, yeah.
They're gone. Alright, so Tabs, my buddy, my pal, my little French penguin.
Oh, hold on. First, congratulations on being the first furry artist on this podcast. If we don't,
But we had Blue Breed.
Blue Breed is a mix.
But we had Blue Breed and Krakow came out.
Yeah, I was about to say if we don't count Krakow as coming out as a furry.
Yeah, Krakow came out of the closet as a furry. Unfortunately, I'm gonna have to take away his Monster Hunter privileges for like a week. But other than that, I guess you're the first proper furry animator we've had in this podcast, right?
Yeah. What an honor.
I was kind of hoping.
What an honor.
I was
And
kind of
that's-
hoping that spot will be filled by another artist that's dear and near to my heart, but that guy is a fucking enigma. We talked about him, yeah.
I forgot his name.
Jay Naylor.
Yeah, Jay Naylor. Yeah, you see, I've said this before. That guy is amazing, but I'm not into his art because it's like genuinely hardcore ass furry.
He was actually one of the first artists not simple work artists that I discovered, right? And actually went wow, that's amazing.
Yeah, same. I discovered his art pretty early on as well.
Are you also the Jay Naylor fan?
Not a fan per se, but I like how he draws.
Okay, just great guy. Anywho, so my little French penguin man, little blue boy.
That's me.
Since I want to know, how did you become the furry artist that somehow ended up in our podcast somehow?
I've just been hanging around community in general since 2008.
Newgrounds?
Not Newgrounds, no, more Fur Affinity, but I actually created the Fur Affinity account
Okay.
in 2011 and started posting on there. But
So wait, you started porn, not safe for work, in 2018?
2011.
2008. Well, you said 8? Sorry, I
I
missed.
said 8, yeah, 2008.
Okay.
When I
So 2008, you made your
when I got introduced.
you made your Fur Affinity.
No, 2011.
11 you made for. You said 2008 though earlier. What was that? What's the?
I said
2008?
I discovered kind of the furry community in 2008 and made a
Okay.
Fur Affinity account in 2011.
And 2011 you started drawing
Yeah,
as well.
I mean, no, I started drawing like way before that. I said I like a lot of people I was drawing like through like middle high and like high school and everything.
Yeah. But that was hobby drawing.
Yeah. Like I started taking it seriously towards the end of high school, and at the same time I was like gravitating towards furry art because I liked it. I like the look of it. I like the.
Did you start with Sonic as well?
No, I wasn't too big into fandoms. I was like straight up trying to like make my own characters.
Okay.
And like as far as like properties with Enthros are concerned, I think like you could say a big furry influence to me would be the game Dofus, which is basically a precursor to Wakfu.
I love that art style so much.
Yeah. I mean, I was playing it before it has like the really good iconic art style. Like back then it was kind of jank. But it's become pretty good since then.
Man, I loved Dofus back in the day. I love that game. I miss that game genuinely. Yeah.
Yeah,
that game, everyone who played Dofus, or however you pronounce it, I just played it. Then everyone who played that game started playing Wakfu after it.
Yeah, except Wakfu kind of sucked and it went.
Wakfu was shit. Like, I mean, it was decent.
Hang on. I don't know about now, but back in the days, like between like the times they announced it and then when they went into like several different alphas, they went through like 15 different gameplay types and it was all changing all the time and like everyone was losing patience with how the project, like how the game was evolving. And like even if the game is finished now, and I don't know if it even is, to me it's a game that's like stayed in beta development for like its entire lifespan.
Yeah.
So I never stuck to it. I always came back to Dofus.
If you want to compare Dofus and Wakfu's other shit. The Wakfu itself is decent, but Dofus was like a fucking amazing game.
I wouldn't go that far, but I like the gameplay loop. I like the.
Back in the day, I'm saying back in the day, it was really good.
Arguable because even for back in the day, it was jank. But the fact that it was made in Flash is absolutely incredible. For like the 1 point something version. But like I think even for back in the day, it was kind of jank. But
have you played any of these by any chance? Dofus or Wakfu, Oil?
No, I never played it, but I did watch the series a lot.
The series. Okay.
If I remember correctly, I'm not sure about the game, but I remember that the series was made in France.
Yeah, it was made by. I mean, it was made by the same studio who made the game because like they were really good with Flash at some point. So they were like, hey, we know how to animate for a game in Flash. Let's animate for a series in Flash. And then they lost 6 million doing that, even though the series eventually became kind of worth it for them.
Eventually, but they lost a fuck ton.
Yeah, but like they didn't care because like Dofus at the time was like raking in 40 million a year, something like that.
I'm not sure really.
I'm
not sure. So your first inspiration with Dofus?
Among others, yeah.
Among others, the biggest, would you say?
That and an artist that goes by the name Meupix.
I know Meupix, yeah.
Meupix.
Meupix, like this.
Yeah, I know that guy.
Yeah, still really big fan of his art style and his characters.
So last couple of years of high school, you started like taking drawing seriously, right?
Yeah.
And you started taking drawing seriously. Did you do commissions?
Not really. Like early art schools, like just after high school, I went into an art school.
As a section of
as what?
As like as an extra class in high school, right?
No.
Or is it completely unrelated?
No. In high school, I didn't do commissions or anything. I didn't start until I began art school. Right after that.
Yeah. So you did commissions in late high school while you were in art school, right?
Only started in like art school, kind of.
Were they like commissions or just for friends?
Back then it was like actual commissions, but it was like incredibly cheap stuff. For like $5 for like a character sketch with colors. So yeah, it was really cheap stuff. But I did them in like a different under a different name.
Did you start art school and make your Fur Affinity account at the same time?
I made the FA account a little bit before art school, actually.
Okay, and commission started after art school. And yeah, well, obviously everyone starts like that.
Yeah. I mean, you don't really have to. I was really like under evaluating myself at the time, like imposter syndrome and everything, the classic. But it's like still.
I know that a lot of artists have that, especially when it comes to deciding how much you wanna not pay, but charge for commissions.
Yeah. Like I started charging decently for commissions only way later.
Do you still do commissions?
No. Like I've only done commissions with like a couple stream commissions recently. But that was like kind of like for a stream donation thing to help someone with their GoFundMe goals for some like financial emergency. And that's kind of like the only situation in which I take commissions nowadays, even though it doesn't come up really often.
And are you not planning to have open commissions anymore?
Not really, because
do you just want to be a free bird?
Pretty much. I'm free as a bird now.
Then you don't like, with this being somewhat of a personal question. If you don't do commissions, how's your money income? Do you work a side job? Is being an artist your side job?
Patreon?
No, I have a Patreon that I work on full time.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean it's funny because like a lot of people think it's my side job, and I have like a main job aside from that. But like considering how much time and effort animations take, I wouldn't be able to do that as a side job. Or it's already a lot as a main job.
Yeah, I get that more.
Yeah.
So Patreon is sufficient enough.
Do you maybe know the number how many commissions you did from when you started to when you stopped?
That's too much.
How many commissions? I'm gonna say less
Roughly.
than 100.
Really?
Yeah, somewhere between like I want to say somewhere between 60 and 100, roughly.
So you didn't do much commissions, anyways.
I mean, I did like very few commissions during art school and like during time after art school when I was in internships, and then there was like a phase in 2018 where I was taking a lot of in-stream commissions, which is where like the main bulk of those like 100 would be.
Yeah.
But like past that point, I haven't taken like hardly any commission.
I'm asking because my internet was out yesterday, right? And I was like, might as well go fucking sort out my art folder. And I went counting in the past 2 years. I did about 350 commissions, which is surprising.
350
around something,
give or take, guesstimate.
Yeah.
So you don't do commissions at all anymore. Patreon suffices, but in the midst of the 60 to 100 commissions you've done, what was the fucking weirdest one?
I was commissioned a few times privately to do some vor stuff.
Vor?
Yeah, but that was like before I started doing like commissions really regularly. So I charged them like fairly low compared to what I ended up charging for actual commissions when I did.
So you did vor for $5?
No, more than that. I did vor for like
$10.
No, for like $25 of hour of work.
$25 for vor?
No, $25 per hour. Like
per hour. Okay.
Okay.
And were your commissions animations?
Yeah.
Okay. So they're not just static pieces or portraits, or they were full-fledged animation.
But did you have any commission that you just didn't want to take for any reason?
Way back,
it might have been something too fucked for you, right?
I haven't really came across that, honestly. But one commission I regretted taking way back in like 2014 was like a hyper commission, which had like way too many details, and where the commissioner was really, really picky and annoying, behind me and like every step of the way, like trying to say, oh, this should be more like this, should be more like that. My character is more like this and like that. And like I took the commission because it was like $300 for the animation. But considering like the time I spent on it, it was really worth it because it was almost 2 weeks full time. Right? Yeah, it was almost
At the same time, I know how having a picky customer is really annoying, right?
Yeah.
Because me and Oil, I sometimes have Oil make like artworks for me, right?
Yeah. And we have a very toxic commission and commissioner relationship.
Yeah. And I do pay him, obviously.
But that's mostly because we're friends, and you can be a bit more open when it comes to that.
But in like genuinely, I am usually more on the toxic end when it comes to Oil's art. Because if I don't like a piece of art he made, I'll just DM him. This looks like shit, right?
I mean, this works if like you really know the person.
Yeah.
But like it's like like you can be like playfully rude with someone you kind of know. But if it's just like a commissioner like being like that to an artist that they don't really know, that like they haven't really had any exchange with them, then it's just like straight up it kind of sucks.
Did you ever had experience like that?
No, not really. Thankfully,
Except for
not
that
really.
one.
No, not that one. That one wasn't rude. It was just annoying.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, I still didn't get to the like actual point. Is like since that person is paying you, like you'd at least expect him to be some level of annoying.
Not always. I mean, I've had like a lot of commissioners who were really nice with, and like even like tipped and barely gave any feedback like on the work in progress, and were like, yeah, that's what I wanted. That's good. Okay, thank you. Bye.
But like that could leave the actual person who's commissioning you, even if he says, hey, that's decent, because he's too shy to say anything, right? And I do believe that I know there's a limit between something too annoying, perfectly annoying, that he just wants to get the point across, and someone who's just shy.
I mean, there's probably been like people who were shy, like didn't like want to ask for changes even though they should have. But I wouldn't be able to fix that as the artist in the exchange. Like that's your responsibility as a commissioner to say if something is wrong, when something is wrong.
Yeah.
So not my problem, I wanted to say.
Yeah, but I do believe it happens, right? It does happen.
Yeah, obviously.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask you your name, origin. Go.
Oh, Tabuley?
Yeah.
Tabuley.
Well, it's funny that we talked about Dofus earlier, because it's literally like a name randomly generated by Dofus just after they integrated that in the game. Yeah, I think it was like back in 2007 or 8 maybe.
That's way more dope than you think it is. That's actually amazing. You know the best names, the most remarkable names come from the random generator.
Yeah.
Like Tabuley, Tabs, and people have nicknames for you now as well.
And while this is on my mind, because we're gonna forget, Shiro, what's the important question?
Yeah, but he draws girls with dicks. I probably know what the answer is gonna be, Oil.
Yeah, go on.
And he's gonna be on your team, but I'm still gonna ask it.
Go on.
Tabs.
Yeah.
My buddy, my man.
Yeah, I'm listening.
Ass or titties?
All right. So first of all,
first of all, ass or titties?
I'm gonna reject this false dichotomy. First of all, because I think you're looking at it the wrong way, and it's neither. And as
Both?
I'm giving as I'm giving my answer, I want to give a shout out to the animated woman who fucked me up, which is Chell from El Dorado, and the answer is hips. The answer is hips. Always.
Hips. Okay, that's part of the ass. That's
It's
like
not
on the ass.
ass.
That's
ass.
That's on the ass team.
No.
Team ass. Listen, hear me out. Team ass takes hips, thighs, and ass.
I'm not okay with that.
You're not okay with that?
You really want that fucking point, Shiro, huh?
I'll take it. He's on ass. I'll take it.
Hips is hips. Ass is ass. That's it.
I mean, he got a point though.
Okay, you know what? I'll give you this one. You're a fucking degenerate penguin. I'll give you this one. El Dorado, huh?
Yeah. Obviously El Dorado. Obviously the fucking Shell from El Dorado. Who else?
Yeah, okay, I'll give you this one. I'll allow you. Since we're talking about we were talking about origins and whatever. But what made you animate? What made you go into that field?
Good question. Like, it's funny because I kind of went into it backwards. Because first of all, I just wanted to draw at first. I didn't know exactly what field I wanted to go in. I was like, yeah, maybe I want to be like a comic artist, but comic artists, especially here, have a reputation of being like kind of a starving artist job, which no one likes, especially not your parents. So you're looking for something that's more into like an industry, of course, but I didn't want to go into stuff like graphic design.
Something too complicated, I guess.
No, graphic design isn't complicated. It's just bullshit. It's just a lot of bullshit. Because I in high school I went to like an applied art section, which is a lot about like art for communication and stuff like that. And I realized how much I didn't want to do that, like the whole graphic design environment, how much I hated that, and like how much it took the tools I liked for making art and basically made everything unfun. I wanted to get the hell out of that. So I was like, no, not graphic design. And among the books I had to learn drawing, one of the big ones that I always turn to is Dynamic Life Drawings for Animators by Michael D. Matesi, which is a book I very often recommend. It's like a really good book to like help you understand how to find dynamism.
Can you write down the book?
Yeah.
Can you write down its name? Sorry. It's the like some things get lost in the accent. Oiled, if you can put that on the TV.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, the book. As soon as he posts it. Yeah, so just so we don't have any confusion.
Yeah, no problem.
Of course, Dynamic Life Drawing by Michael D. Matesi.
Yeah,
Is he?
Matesi.
Okay, Matesi. Okay.
Yeah.
So sorry. Go on. Continue.
Yeah, so like it's a book about learning through figure drawing, like how to find dynamism in your pose and like how to kind of cartoon exaggeration, but with kind of like a sense and a purpose. And as like that book kind of like pulled me towards animation and like all the behind the scene of animation, like all the work that like until 2008 I had no idea went into animation, and especially 2D animation. And I was like, holy shit, that's what I want to do. Like that's exactly what I want to do. Like looking at line tests, looking at rough animations and like how they do the sketches, how they do the lines. Like it's like the revelation is like, holy shit, this is what I want. While I'm for like still a few years stuck in high school in a specialization that I absolutely hate. So
you know what I've noticed, right? Especially with people who grew up with art. At first, when you're like a teenager or prior, you get so much into the finished product. You look at the finished product and you say, I want to do this. Then as you grow a little older, you look at this book, you look at the process.
Yeah.
And some people love the process more than the product. I don't want to say that's you, but I think it plays a factor with you as well.
Yeah, in some aspects, like sometimes I prefer working on animation and making animation than even watching animation, because I find it sometimes more enjoyable and like more
rewarding.
Not just rewarding, but just a more compelling experience. That's just like
it's
enjoying
the challenge. It's the challenge of the process. I want to call it.
Exactly.
It's like the difference between having a job that pays and a job that helps you grow.
Yeah.
All right. So you read a book. You said, "Holy shit, that's what I want to do." And my follow-up question is, when did the Batgirls and the Dicks come in picture?
Well, the Batgirls I created back in like 2015, just after finishing art school and my last internship, and I was like stuck in an apartment looking for a job, which was boring as hell. Let me see if I can.
That's your main character, right?
Dusk. Yeah. I created Dusk, and a friend of mine created Sunny. The tall one, the tall black one. Yeah. I used to always credit him, but I haven't done that in a while, I gotta admit. But I don't take credit for the creation of this character.
Sunny, very Sunny.
Yeah, he created her like kind of like at the same time to like kind of have a pairing.
Shall we put their Twitter on the screen if you want to give them a shout out?
Yeah, let me find the right one, because I don't want to give you the safe for work Twitter. Okay, I think that's the right one. I think I'll find that later, because I'm not sure I can find.
All right. I'll remind you later
Right.
when I do the editing.
We'll get to it when we get to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
But how many characters do you have altogether? Because you have quite a lot of them.
Well, if you look at my Twitter header, you can basically see most of them. So you get the penguin, you get like Dusk, now her doppelganger, which is by the way, spoiler, which is like a staying character, and she's called Dawn.
Okay.
You get Sunny, you get Gala, you get Sarah, you get Mary, and you get Melody. And there's potentially more characters in the work, but I can't say for now until like I'll get them like down a bit more.
A good idea of what
Work in process.
Yeah.
sounds dope.
But why a bat specific?
I just like the shape of the snout. That's it, and I thought it was like a cool design opportunity.
Hey, it's a cute nose. He looked at it and he said, "Oh, it's a cute nose."
Yeah. I mean, yeah. You look at the vampire bat.
Yeah.
But while I'll still have Twitter open, I wanna go back to October 2020 on this post where your penguin has his ass up saying you called this unfuckable. Bet you feel silly now. I wanna know the origins of that post.
The origin was just a Discord call. That's pretty much it. Like that's where a lot of my shit posts come from. Just some random stuff that happens.
Someone in Discord said, "Hey, your main character is unfuckable," and that was the product. That's what you did.
Yeah. Exactly.
And he proved them wrong.
Exactly.
And he most definitely did. Look at it. Look at that penguin.
Look, for over 4,000 people think otherwise, obviously.
Yeah, at least 5 people think otherwise.
At least, right? At least.
It has 4K likes. That's 4K people who want to fuck the penguin. To me, that's what it is.
That's gay, bro.
To me, that just sounds concerning.
I don't think so.
That's 4 people who are going on the list.
That's at least 4,000 people that walk around this server that want to fuck penguins.
Nothing wrong with that.
There's many things wrong with that.
Apparently nothing.
There's many things wrong with that.
That's just your opinion.
That's just my opinion.
Yeah.
Okay, you know what? Let's skip past this. I'll keep the penguin fuckers to their situations.
Disclaimer: don't fuck penguins.
Disclaimer, please. They're dying anyways. Just don't fuck. Alright, so you have a lot of established characters. Have you used any other artists for references on your characters?
Oh, absolutely. One of the artists that I took inspirations at first for Havajo Bad Snouts is called Polywomple.
Yeah.
Let me write that for you. I really, really like their art style. I think it's really great. It's like just a really nice
Polywomple, yeah.
line. Other than that, like I take inspirations from a ton of different people. But as far as more like animation goes, like how I animate and like how I sketch for animation, I've been gravitating more and more towards taking inspiration from a former Disney artist called Andreas Deja. Let me write that for you as well.
Andreas
Deja, like this.
German American anime. What's his works?
He was like head animator for Scar, Lion King, Jafar from Aladdin, Gaston from Beauty and the Beast. Who else?
Was it the guy that wrote the book Animator? What's the book called?
He wrote the book
Animator Survival Guide for Animators.
No, that's
something
not
like that.
That was Richard Williams. Completely different style of animation.
Okay.
very, very different style of animation. Very different, even philosophy on animation. I think.
You know, while I touched up on that guy, he said in the book that animators should work in silence. What's your opinion about that? Because for me, at least, when I work, I cannot fucking work in silence.
I think it really depends on how much focus.
The question is, when you're making an animation, do you have like music in your background? Just go.
Do you have?
Or are you
do you have anything in the background?
Or are you just
movie, music, for Discord call, anything, or do you just sit down?
Do you ASMR? Do you chat? Do you?
It really depends on a lot of things. Like if I need to take a lot of artistic decisions, like if I'm storyboarding, if I'm doing like main poses, if I'm doing like keyframes and stuff like that, like stuff where I really need to focus and take important decision. I won't have music, but I will have like things like sounds of rain or waves of stuff like that. Not ASMR, just like a white noise to like just drawn
Yeah,
out.
white noise. Just white noise. Yeah.
Yeah, exterior noises, like to really help me focus and being really like tunnel vision on what I'm doing. But once I go into the more tedious part process, where it's just like it's what I'm doing right now for the current project, which is a hell of a lot of in-betweening, then I'm gonna like listen to podcasts, watch like series I've already watched on the side, watch a bunch of stupid videos on YouTube, whatever I can find, like watch like or like have just some music, maybe. But yeah, it's kind of like an all or nothing for me, depending on what I'm working on. And high intensity stuff requires all my focus, and so it's like white noise or rain or nothing.
See, for me is I need to have something in the background, as long as it's not
I
silence,
understand.
right? Because me and my mind to myself, that's a bad fucking mix. But I want to ask you, during your work process, what's the worst part? What's the part that you don't like to do?
I don't think that the part of the process that I really hate. Maybe
What's the most tedious? What's the most unpolished?
The most tedious by far is in betweening the animations and keeping everything on model, which usually takes 3 months out of like the 6 months period of any project. It's like a huge, like a massive chunk of work, and you never see the end of it. Even though like it's part of the process, but it's kind of annoying how much time it takes. And right now I'm still in the middle of that for my current project, even though I'm closing in, I think, on maybe being 75% done on that. But yeah, by far, it like putting on model and in betweening is like the tedious part.
Do you fine tune animation? Like,
what do you mean by fine tuning?
like after, let's say you have a finished product, then you say, hey, this looks clunky, this doesn't look as smooth as I thought it would be.
I never do that, like, because I've already spent so much time on everything. I don't want to go George Lucas and go back to everything and be like, oh, this should be more like this, more like that, and like add another fucking 3 or 4 weeks to my process, which is already incredibly long as it is for each project.
Yeah.
Can we get a slight hint on your next project? What's it about?
Insider information.
What's it about? It's about
Is it Dusk?
Is Dusk in there?
Nope.
No,
It's not Dusk.
That's a new one.
It's not Dusk.
No, but Dawn is in there. Dawn and Dawn, yeah, the doppelganger.
The evil one.
Exactly.
Is there any,
How is there Dusk but no Dawn, bro? That makes no sense. I don't like. I'm sorry.
Do they, the Dusk and Dawn, do they have like a origin story?
I mean, Dawn was just summoned from the summoning circle out of nowhere. But Dusk doesn't really have an origin story. She's just like some gal.
She's just a bear with a huge penis.
Yeah, that's huge. It's not huge.
Just huge.
Massive.
Just a bat with a penis.
Just huge. Just a bat with a cock.
Yeah.
Bat with titties and a cock, and her doppelganger is just the same thing. Exactly.
But with a bigger cock.
Is it?
Yeah.
I don't know. Okay.
No.
You know what? I'll keep the cock evaluating to you, sir.
You sure need to get up with the Tabuley cock size lore.
Is there like a chart? Is there like a chart?
No. Maybe I need to do that sometime.
Yeah,
because-
I think that would be a fun project to do, like a cock chart for your characters.
Yeah, I've seen other people do that. I should do that maybe.
Because I think the only because I looked at some of your animations and one of them had a horse chick.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna just out of the blue say that's like the biggest in between your animations.
Probably. Although there's also like a giraffe chick who's got it pretty well.
I don't believe I've seen it, but thank you for the information.
I've only done like two animated loops with her. No real full animation.
Okay.
But maybe I will eventually.
Maybe.
I kind of want to do more with her because I like her design.
Just maybe.
Yeah. Well, I want to do more with most of the characters I have because like there's a few I haven't animated in a while. But it takes so long to get like one project out. I have to be extremely selective about projects I want to, and I can only like do one every 6 months. So I gotta be like, okay, I really want to draw this character, so I'm gonna be like I'm gonna be like stuck on a project with this character and this character for like the next 6. Am I okay with that?
How
And so
do you scrap project?
I haven't scrapped any project yet. Like once it started, once the machine is going, I'm not going to stop it. I might rework things, but like once the storyboard is done, once I have the voices, it started and it has to be finished. That's even if I stop liking it like halfway.
So you always say, you know what, I've committed enough. I've committed too much. I'll continue on it.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense.
I don't know why we didn't touch up on that, but your penguin. Why a blue penguin?
I just like penguins. I like how they walk. I think it's funny.
You see that? That's based. That's an amazing answer.
You can never ask for a better answer.
And is there any story to how his design came to be?
Yeah, it was originally for a student film back in 2013, 2014.
For what? Can you repeat that?
A student film.
Student
Yeah,
film,
it
okay.
was from a student film from 2013, 2014. I designed him. He was kind of like a side character, and I kind of liked him, so I kept him. That's it.
So wait, so hold up. Your penguin was actually like a made character that you had for a project for school.
I mean, I designed him.
Okay, no. But you used him for a school project.
Yeah, but he looked way different back then.
Okay, yeah. You see that? Because let's assume one of your teachers, or maybe like just shows up and recognizes it.
I mean, you are aware that some of my former teachers know what I do, right?
Really?
Well, yeah, because I started, the school I went to, after I graduated and, got a job and everything, I taught there for 5 years.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's dope.
Yeah, and some of my fellow teachers, which were my teachers before, they knew about what I do.
So they are aware you draw food of bad girls
Some of them, yeah.
and giraffes and shit.
And what's their reaction to it? Or what was their reaction when they found out?
It's funny because most people just ask how it works business-wise. That's every time someone discovers oh, you do that. Oh, okay. How does it work? How do you make money out of it? Where do you usually broadcast your stuff and everything?
Twitter, Patreon, TLDR, isn't it?
Yeah.
How many people? You said your parents were not really that okay with the animators, right? They're not. They don't
Comic
think,
artists. To them,
just comic artists or being an artist in general.
being an artist in general, kind of, but comic artists in general, especially in France, it's kind of seen as a starting artist profession, which isn't entirely wrong, sadly. But yeah, so it's not something my parents would have really.
But are they aware of your current situational job?
Yeah, they know.
They know you draw, not say for
Yeah, they know what I do. They haven't seen any of it, I hope. But yeah, they know what I do.
That's dope. So you actually went up to them and said, "I draw, not say for work content for money."
Yeah.
Okay, that's okay.
Yeah,
That's,
I mean, I gotta explain to them why I'm not working at a studio, and why I can't show any of the work I do as well.
yeah.
So I'm I do nothing for work.
Okay, you know what? As long as
hang on.
Yeah.
Even better, it's that my father helped me find an accountant to help me with bookkeeping and accounting for my work.
it's fucking great. As long as you're all happy, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Shiro, where the fuck is our account?
We made like $25 off a YouTube video, Oil. We don't need an accountant. We need money to get an accountant, Oil. Let's make money first. All our fucking videos are demonetized, Oil.
Well,
No shit.
well, at least 40% of them. And YouTube is so fucked when it comes to that. We can say the worst things on an episode that gets monetized, but God forbid you have a slight cleavage on the thumbnail. That's fucking instant demonetization.
Yeah, slight cleavage or maybe a midriff, a belly button. That's demonetized on the spot.
Just get a sponsor.
Yeah, who's gonna sponsor us?
Alright.
Raid Shadow Legends?
Bad Dragon. Get Bad Dragon in there.
Dude, I was actually
I don't know.
I was actually thinking of contacting them at one point, asking if they want to sponsor us.
I don't know, but you could try.
we actually had some sponsor approach us. I'm not gonna say who.
But they were sketchy as hell, so we just declined.
They never said who. We went back and forth. Then they suddenly went silent. That was one of them. Then the second one, they were really sketchy. Right? There was like a 300-page term of service. We were like, nah, never mind, man. Because let's say
hang on.
like,
No,
it's a huge percentage and whatnot. Yeah, go ahead.
you could get like Adam and Eve as a sponsor because I've seen them sponsor all the YouTubers.
Adam and Eve.
It's a sex shop.
Yeah, it's a sex shop, online sex, the world biggest online sex shop. I think it's the world biggest, but yeah, they're
Toys just for you, Adam and Eve.
Although I highly doubt they want to sponsor a 3K YouTube channel. Yeah,
we're not really a sex
You could
shop.
try.
We're not really that. We're a hentai podcast.
Maybe one day.
Maybe one day.
Anyway, we are at almost 50 minutes, so let's take a quick break and then we're gonna go to the Twitter questions. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. See ya.
Wait.
Oh God, no. I don't.
Wait.
Fine. Jesus, fine. Go on.
Wait, Tab.
Yeah.
Since we're gonna have the sequence between the actual episode and the music, and
Fucking hate this part. Go on.
Twitter questions. What's our transition? We need music. What's our transition music?
First time it was elevator music. Second time was hentai game music. Third time was what was it? Spanish music. Yeah.
I know. Put Hole of the Mountain King.
Something that's not gonna get us demonetized.
Yeah.
It's public domain.
Is it? What's it called?
Hole of the Mountain King.
Well, you'll hear it now. I'll see you guys in a minute. I forgot what I was going on about, man. My attention span, oh my god.
You need to work on that.
Work on what?
Fucking hate you.
What?
On your attention span.
Oh, okay.
Dumbass.
Why would I? I'm funny. It's funny, innit? Debatable. Is it not funny?
I don't know, you tell me.
It is. I'm like the coolest.
Is it funny?
Yeah.
See?
You're asking a penguin. And he genuinely made the penguin noise when you asked him.
You want me?
So, Tab, is it funny? And he was like, Hey Tab, look at that. And Tab is just fuck.
How tall are you, Tab? How tall are you?
I'm about 65 centimeters tall, which is tall for a penguin.
Yeah, quite a big penguin.
You're what? How tall are you? Hold on.
65 centimeters.
65?
Yeah.
65 centimeters. That's as tall as my 2-year-old brother. Nice, bro. That's like an above average penguin. Average penguin.
Depends what kind of penguin, because emperors can go up to like 1 meter tall.
1.1 meter.
Yeah.
A colossus penguin. 1/6. Emperor 115.
Yeah, but
what penguin are you?
I'm an Adelie.
Adelie are 75.
Damn.
You're short.
Shut up.
You're a short penguin.
Shut up.
It's a midget penguin. What the fuck? Oiled. Okay, clip that part. I need it.
Oh no.
Okay, clip that part. That's gonna be in a spoiler. That's gonna be in a blooper.
Why would you do that to me?
He's like, yeah, I'm a tall penguin.
Yeah, he's like, yeah, I'm 65. That's tall for a penguin.
Don't look it up.
And I googled it. He's short. He's a midget penguin. He's a midget penguin.
You're also quite a chunky penguin. How much do you weigh?
I choose not to respond to that.
I have the chart in front of me. I was waiting for it. He was gonna be a midget or beach penguin.
I'm not giving you more ammo, dude.
I got one shot. That's all that matters. All right, welcome back. I hope you enjoyed that music as picked by Tubbs. We're gonna go transition now to the Twitter questions. Well, we have already transitioned. We're post-operation now.
Anyway, Twitter questions. Shiro, go.
Is no one gonna address the fucking joke I just did? The fuck. Right. Twitter question. Let's start with the first one we have listed by Reese.
REC. Yo, Tabuley. Besides Force book, there's another book recommends to improve my drawing and animation. Also, any brush from Toon Boom you recommend to use. So let me since the question is a bit, it's a two-parter. So Reese says, any other book than the Force book? Let's start with that.
Yeah, of course. Lately, I want to say, been trying to work more on like compositions in my shots and also more on anatomy as well. So for composition, one I picked up not very long ago is Framed Ink. I forgot the name of the author for this one.
What's it called again? The book name, if you can.
Framed Ink.
Trained Ink.
Framed.
Yeah, trained.
Sure, whatever.
Framed. Okay, sorry. I'm really sorry. Framed Ink. I just saw it. Framed Ink and composition for visual storytellers.
Yeah, that's the one.
By Marcus Matui Mester.
Yeah. This guy I think is a former DreamWorks storyboarder.
Oil, if you can put it on the TV alongside the first book.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because he made the second one. I only have the first one, but honestly, it's already really good. It's really helpful to like figure out how to get more interesting composition in your shots. And another one, which is a classic, it's called Morpho. There are several volumes of it, like general anatomy. There's more specifically
Morpho.
like hand anatomy, foot anatomy and stuff like that, depending on what you're looking for. I forgot the name of the author as well, but yeah, it's a really good series of books to like learn anatomy and anatomy shorthand without going full on into detailed, muscle and bone structure and everything.
Michael Lorisella, is that the one?
I guess.
Michael Lorisella Morpho and Marcus Matui Mester for Framed Ink.
Yeah.
And obviously Force by Michael D. Mates.
Yeah.
So that's the triad of animation and drawing. Reference books if you want to learn.
Not the triad.
Your triad. Yours.
No, not even my triad, but
really?
it's like based on the books I picked up lately.
Okay.
Aside from Force, like Framed Ink and Morpho, like
the current references.
Yeah, and like if you want to go more into sequential art, you can look at any book on sequential art by Will Eisner. And if you really want to go into animations, like you have the one that everyone knows called Animator Crash Course, Animator Survival Kit by Richard Williams, and another one that I think is really similar but a bit simpler to approach and made by someone who learned the same person as Richard Williams, which is Character Animation Crash Course by Eric Goldberg.
So Will Eisner and Eric Goldberg, Character Animation Crash Course.
Yeah, Eric Goldberg is a guy who was animation director for the Genie on Aladdin, among many other things. Like that's the one thing he's really
like the Disney stuff.
Yeah.
Right. So that was the first part of the question. The second part of it is any brush from Toon Boom you recommend to use?
What I recommend to use from Toon Boom is like the vector brushes that have bitmap textures to them, and one that is good to start from and tweak a little bit to make it more interesting is either the colored pencil or wax crayon brush. On their own, they're okay, but if you go into like the brush settings and tweak them a little bit, they become more interesting. Like usually, like harder edges, I make them better sketching brushes in general.
So yeah, those three brushes, but I guess any brush could work. Those two brushes, but I guess any brush would work if you fine tune them to your taste, right?
Yeah, but like specifically for Toon Boom, since you're working with a software that can handle at the same time bitmap and vectors, it's best to try to pick up brushes that can do both at the same time. And like the vector brushes with bitmap textures, I think is like one of the main argument to use Toon Boom at the moment, because I think like it's one of the most versatile brush engine, because it gives you like brush strokes that are really accurate to what you're drawing and with like very interesting texture, but they're still vectors that you can move around and cut around and like use as a base for colors. It's really, really handy on that end.
Right, that's it for brushes on Toon Booms. I'm not really well versed with animation. Is Toon Boom the current main? I guess it's like the Unity of animators, or
it's more like the Maya of animation because it's really expensive. It's really expensive. I don't recommend Toon Boom for independent animators. I get it for pretty cheap because I get a discount. But if you want to go into animation, what I would recommend something I tried very recently called Tahoma 2D, and it's a fork of OpenToons.
Tahoma 2D.
Tahoma.
Okay.
Also, I said this. Oh god, this is like the fifth. This is like the fifth shout out for Clip Studio, but they also have a animation function now, so give that a try.
Clip Studio can animate. I don't have a lot of experience with it, but it's not mainly made for animation, and as a result, some tools aren't optimized. I've heard many times how just like copy pasting from one layer to another in CSP is kind of a mess. But honestly, like Tahoma 2D it's free since it's source, and it's really easy to like begin with, and it's not too resource intensive if you have like an old PC or like a hyper PC or whatever. So, like I highly recommend it, and it looks like it's getting better and better time. I might look into like getting in touch with devs for like more feedback into trying to make it a more comfortable tool for animation.
That sounds good. Be on the lookout, devs. Dubs is coming. Tabs is coming. Be wary if you see like some midget penguin coming towards you.
I've never lived this down.
All right, sure. Next question.
That's a pill you'll never swallow, and I'll keep it.
Thank you, Reese. Thank you, Reese, for the question.
Next is by Black Cat, but every A is a 4.
Okay.
So Black Cat, but there's 2 4s instead of 2 A's. When will you start selling cute, fluffy penguin plushies?
That's a good question. That's a really good question.
That's a really good question.
It's not the first time I'm being asked that. I tried to approach Makeshift to try to make that happen, but I really didn't get any answer from them. I think they're really swamped with requests. And considering the way you fill in the info for when you want to like request a partnership with them, you fill in also like your follower count. But considering like they get approached by also a lot of people who are like on YouTube where they have like 200, 300, 400,000 followers. Obviously, if you just look at follower numbers, I don't think I can compete or like be on like priority compared to a bunch of other people who have contacted them. But I got my eyes on potentially a few other people, like a few other services that can do basically the same thing. But I'm still not decided yet.
So you're
very soon.
So you're
very
basically
soon.
No, not very soon. Not very soon, because like you have like a whole development process, you have like a whole prototyping process. So even if I could find someone tomorrow, like it's not even guaranteed for 2022, basically.
I'm saying very soon in reference of the entire process, but hopefully.
So
soon.
you're basically
soon,
basically actively looking for a part 2 to start that project. It's on your mind.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, okay, nice. Black Cat, you heard it here. and if there's anything happening, I'll have Oil contact you on Twitter saying Oil is offering to buy you the first penguin plush.
I am cutting that part out of the podcast.
This cheap bastard, bro. All right, next question. Thank you, Black Cat.
Thank you.
Next question by Soft. How do you manage such smooth and flowing animation?
Many things.
Let me say the entire part, because it's only the question. Then the rest of it is just extras. So how do you manage such smooth and flowing animations? Making a full piece of art is already hard, but having to do that per frame sound maddening. Any tips for beginner animators are appreciated. So flowing animations and any tips on those.
Okay, so the thing about animation is that even when you know how to do it, it takes an inordinate amount of time. But when you're starting out, you have to, and in order to learn, you have to go as slowly as possible. Like you have to learn how to do it really slow in order to be able to do it well and fast later on. So yeah, best tip is like take all the time it need because it's gonna take a hell of a lot of time to like really absorb the animation principle, like a lot of practice to really understand why they're here, how they work in detail, and like how and when they're applicable. Like it's hard to condense, like any advice for animation in a few words when it's so broad like this. So all I can say is like really take your time and learn to go slow before you try to go fast.
If I may,
Yeah.
like you heard earlier in the podcast, Tabs is saying he takes 6 months per project.
Yeah.
So I'd say when it comes to animation, slow and steady wins the race.
Yeah.
Just take as much time as you want. Tabs, would you say you're a professional animator?
Yeah, I mean, of course I am. I mean, if it's my job.
Yeah, it is your job, but you know how sometimes people don't like to label their job.
Yeah, but I mean, I also worked in the industry. Like I was.
Yeah, I know you did. I know you did. I just want to.
Of course, I'm a professional.
I just want to get the establishment that. Okay, so Tabs as a professional animator takes 6 months per se. It could be by choice. It could be he's forced to because it's a big project. But that's 6 months, give or take, per project.
I do have a question. I do have a question on that. Since it takes you that long to post anything, right? I mean, not anything by your animations. Do you ever feel like pressured?
Absolutely.
Definitely. Oh god, I haven't posted anything like 5 months. I need to get this done.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I definitely have like some kind of pressure because of how long it takes to get a finished product out, and how nowadays people are really used to see something coming out like every week, every month, whatever, like on a really short wait time between episodes or whatever. So like obviously it's impossible to actually keep up with that kind of stuff, especially if with what I do, I try to aim for pretty high quality animation, but I still feel really pressured to like try faster if it doesn't do anything. But in the future I might try to like lower my standards for big projects and make them more to something that's manageable in like 2 months, maybe, depending on.
It's gonna be less quality, more quantity.
Maybe.
I'm not saying. That's why I said earlier the 6 months could either be by choice or you're forced because it's a big project.
I mean, I do that to myself, but honestly, I'm getting a bit tired, so I might like slow down a little bit and give myself like slightly easier stuff.
It's either or. It's either or. It's either by choice or it's really big project, then you have to keep working overtime.
Yeah.
But if you reduce the times 2 months, I'm not saying your quality is gonna drop. It could. It definitely could.
I mean,
I'm not saying it will.
Like, between like 6 months on a project and 2 months on a project, obviously it's gonna drop a little bit. Like that's even if the length of the final product is a bit
the same, let's say
a bit below, still it's gonna drop a little bit in quality. That's inevitable. Then my job becomes making it drop in quality where it doesn't matter as much and where people won't notice it too much, for like dialogue scenes that aren't sex scenes, for example.
Yeah.
And stuff like that, and like still try to keep the important stuff as polished as possible.
Sorry, we went a bit out of the question, but this was really good to know. Thank you, Softy, for the question. And here you have it. Slow and steady wins the race. Just do it at your own pace. And once you become, like very well versed, then you can take your time, I guess. You can do whatever you want then. Next question by Zephyr. What's your hardest thing you have to draw by your character?
Well, like everyone, I kind of struggle on the hands. Yeah, always.
Okay.
And also, faces in general, because you have to be particularly demanding on how accurate your volume is when you animate faces. Otherwise, you get like the eye sliding all over the face, or like the mouth or the nose sliding.
No, there's a difference between drawing a face and animating a face.
Yeah.
There's a huge difference because there's so much that can go wrong.
Yeah, but like you really have to ensure that each drawing of the face, like for the keyframes, are really consistent between each other. And I think that's one of the hardest part of the process for me, at least.
The face, animating the face, okay. And hands, I guess. Thank you, Zephyr. And the next question is by R Word Incarnate. Just bleep the first.
Yeah.
I guess YouTube hates it. I don't know. As a fan, how long did it take your career to skyrocket? So he's asking as a fan, how long?
As a fan, yeah. I don't think it really skyrocketed. I mean,
you are quite popular.
Yeah, but like I think it happened really, really gradually, honestly. If you look at like my social blade for Twitter, you can see like I have like a few bumps here and there where I get like +2 or 3K or like +5K at one time in terms of followers. But that's usually just after dropping like a really big project. So like I don't think it's skyrocketed. I think it's like really the accumulation of a lot of big projects that paid off over time. Because I've been on Twitter for a while and I've had my Patreon for like over 3 years now. So and like even the Patreon, you can see like if you look at Graphtreon, which is like a third-party site where you can see different Patreon pages and campaigns and like how they evolved, and you can see how my progress is like much more linear than really like sudden.
Shiro, you there?
Are you saying it's not sudden at all? Because I don't really check. But you never had like a jump. You never had a jump. It was all gradual.
Yeah, it's really gradual because like I think in order to have like a jump, I think you would have to like do maybe like a piece of Rule 34 that really, really blows up to a point where it goes outside not safe for communities.
Yeah.
Like to a point where it becomes a meme. And since I don't really do not safe for since I don't really do Rule 34, it hasn't really happened to me to any extent. Like since my stuff really stays in not safe for communities, even though it gets pretty big within not safe for communities, especially furry communities. It's never like a huge leap of 20k subscribers overnight. It's like several bumps of a few thousands over like three or 4 years.
Okay, but having a jump doesn't specifically mean you have to go outside the Nusifera community. But let's just keep it.
Usually it does. Usually
it does. But that's not just a jump. That's gonna be like an entire fucking leap. That's gonna be like insane numbers in like in a week. There's something I missed earlier with the Reese question. He actually had his animation with the question.
Oh yeah, I saw that on Twitter.
Can you put, if you can, or you'll put that on the TV while we're discussing the question. I get you don't have to cut this part out. Let's go for the next question. Thank you very much, retard incarnate. Rails05, and it's not a question. It's just a bunch of hearts. Oiled wants me to ask it, to give you this. And hey, you got how many hearts? 4 hearts.
Yeah.
You got 4 red hearts.
Nice.
Thank you very much. Railed05. Last question, but not least. Well, most definitely not least. It's a long one. By Mimboy. Many of your female presenting characters have a penis. Are they considered transgender or something different? We did talk earlier about how them being girls with dicks.
Yeah, but like they would be considered transgender.
Okay, but you see, the question says, do they consider themselves transgender? And that's like a completely different scenario. That's like role playing.
No, it's not role playing if it's real. I mean,
no. I'm saying the question says, do they consider themselves?
Well, yeah.
That's like in the point of view of the character.
Okay, so like they would consider themselves transgender, but at the same time, that's kind of a paradox in that I haven't designed them or like wrote them in a way where at any point in their life they would have had to transition from male to female.
So they're just born girls with dicks.
They're born with a dick, but still always been a girl.
Okay. No, it's just a girl with a dick. It's not transgender. It's not anything. It's not anything that has an agenda.
No, it doesn't have anything to do with that. Technically, like by our standard, like transgender, but by their world, they're just girls.
It's just normal.
Yeah.
And the second part of the question: and do you like real life female presenting people with penises?
Well, yeah.
Or is it a kink based on suspension and disbelief?
I don't think it's. I don't think like one. How do I put that?
Let's say. Let me rephrase it.
Yeah.
To make it easier on the head. In a perfect world where whatever you want is right in front of you.
Yeah.
Would you prefer a girl with a dick, something similar to your character, or a normal
Go with it.
a girl with a dick?
Yeah.
Okay, then that's the answer. Like, what do you prefer?
Not exactly, because I'm assuming like they mean like real life transgender people as well. Which in that case, yeah, it's the same.
Okay, in our world, in current real life, would you prefer a transgender girl or a natural born girl?
That is fine, honestly.
Either or.
Yeah.
Okay, let's just keep it there, because if I talk too much about this, someone's gonna get cancelled eventually.
Yeah.
It's mostly gonna be you, I think.
Thank you for the question.
No, I don't have a Twitter account. I don't get cancelled. I can't get canceled.
Me, on the other hand, oh boy, fucking
Oil.
4 times.
Oil is a prime target.
Yeah.
Oh.
People try to cancel me like at least 3 times, so
well.
I'm already used to it. Anyway, that was the.
I'll be there to celebrate the 4th then.
It'll be there, live action.
Yes.
That
was the last question, I think, yeah?
That was the last question by Mimboy. Thank you very much. And before we even consider closing up the podcast, I need you to name me at least 5 people you might wanna shout out.
Can be safe word, can be not safe word, can.
It can be anything. Anything you're inspired by, is a friend, anything.
Fuck. That's fuck. There's gonna be too many people, and if I don't shout out someone, they're gonna be.
Yeah, someone's gonna be offended. Yep.
Yeah.
Someone is gonna be like, "Oh, but I thought we were friends." No, shut up.
That's why. That's why we do it. Extra drama, right?
No. I'm gonna game the system. I'm gonna shout out the artificial the animated waifu that fucked me up. So first of all, shout out to Chell from Eldorado. Shout out to Crystal from Star Fox. Shout out to Maid Marian, obviously from Robin Hood. Who else? Shout out to Mrs. B and come on, one.
The OG, Lola Bunny.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.
There you go.
OG.
There you go. That's all the shout outs.
Nice. Do you have any closing words before we start?
Anything?
Noot is my closing.
Oh my god. Okay, Pingo on the TV. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Noot. And thank you very much for showing up, Tabs. I think I believe.
Thanks for having me. Yeah.
I believe you're the first furry animator. Hopefully the last.
No.
No more furries. No more furries, Oil. They scare me. They're scared.
All right. Well, Shiro.
Thank you all for coming. Thank you for the questions.
Yeah.
And most importantly, thank you, Tab, for making the time to be here. This has been another episode of the Lewd Front podcast. What episode does this make, Oil?
29.
Episode 29. Thank you all for listening, and good night.
And
bye.
Next one is the season finale, so look forward to that. And then bye.
Yeah, next one, season finale, and maybe a special episode. That's a secret. Oh my god, just close it now.
Yeah, you're gonna have to wait and see what we have brewing in the background. Anyway, see ya. Bye.
Bye.
Ciao.